Hi everyone, I'm Alice and sometimes I get lost in The Sims. Let's get lost together, shall we? Welcome to my brand new channel. I'm so glad you found my first video. If you have come here from my Instagram, thank you so much for clicking through and being supportive. It really means a lot to me. Today we are doing the speed build of my vintage Windows cabin. You might have already seen the screenshots that I uploaded on Instagram about a week ago. As you can see, it took me some time to puzzle the windows together in an aesthetically pleasing way. But I think I got there in the end. I actually wanted to build a cabin like this for a long time. I have seen pictures of similar real-life builds pop up on Insta and Pinterest, and I really love the style. I'm actually a big nerd when it comes to eclectic buildings or old buildings in general. I also like the sustainability aspect of it, because the originals that I modeled this home after were made out of recycled farm windows. So when The Sims 4 announced the Windows patch, it was totally obvious to me that I wanted to build exactly this type of house. Actually, I've been kind of waiting to be able to do that. However, apart from the wall of windows, I had absolutely no clue what the whole build would look like. I had to edit a lot of playing around with different floor plans out of this video. So I tried actually to edit the video in a way that makes more sense, but that also means that you might sometimes get a glimpse of something that I built later, but switched around in the video. I hope that makes sense. So here you can see me trying out some window options for the front of the house. And yeah, I wanted to also make it eclectic with vintage windows, and I chose at last the windows from Strangerville, the church-like looking windows, and around skylight. And I'm quite happy how that turned out. But I will change some of it later in the build. You will see it in the video. Here I'm deciding on the wall paint, and that was actually a very smooth decision process. I think this vintage wood looking base game option fits the house just fine. It doesn't come with color swatches, but that actually matches the work with what you have theme. And then I'm already doing the terraces in the front and the back of the house, and obviously because the house has a foundation, I needed to work with stairs. And well, I just chose a white one to match the windows, and then I'm looking for balustrades that fit the vintage eclectic theme, and that's what I'm doing here. Now we're going into the inside of the house, and as you can probably guess, I cut a lot of things out of the video to not bore you. Actually, where I'm just trying out the new kitchen layout, I had the bathroom before, and then I changed the stairs to a ladder, and then I twisted the ladder around, and so on and so on. And now this is a new floor plan, and now I'm doing the new bathroom, and yeah, kind of finishing up the new kitchen layout. And I think it turned out really nice in the end, although it took me, I think it was hours to get to that point where I could say, yes, I do like it now. At this point, I want to apologize for the rapidly twisting camera. I sincerely hope nobody is getting seasick from watching this. This is actually not even funny. My only excuse is that this is my first video, and I wasn't really aware that I'm constantly moving the camera around while building. Well, I didn't until I saw the recording, and then it was too late. I tried to cut as much of it out as possible, yeah, but it didn't always work that well. I promise I'll work on a better camera management in the future. So here I'm redoing the front of the house with a smaller door to make room for the new bathroom and the little breakfast table I put inside the entryway. I needed to change it up a little so Sims have room to walk, and that now works perfectly, and it also looks nice. I'm actually really happy with how the floor plan turned out in the end, because at the back of the house, where we have this huge window front of vintage windows and all the lights comes in, we have 2 different seating areas where Sims can sit and enjoy the view and the light streaming in, and it's just absolutely beautiful. Probably don't use it with the vampire sim, but for every other sim it should be a really, really fine house. The windows patch is my favorite patch of all time. It's even better than the door patch. This brings us so much closer to realistic builds, and I want to do more builds with an eclectic mix of windows in the future. This little cubby next to the door I found myself working on 3 different occasions during the recording. I edited them all together to make it easier to watch. I don't think I mentioned before that I have the attention span of a squirrel when it comes to building. I always do something and then something else catches my eye, and then I start working on this other thing, and then I forget to get back to the thing I was initially working on, and so on and so on. Or actually, sometimes changing what I'm building on also helps when my creativity is blocked. So when I get stuck, I look for something else to do that I have an idea for. Actually, this probably best describes my process. Getting stuck, then doing something else, getting stuck again, and so on. What's your build process? Are you a chaotic builder like me, or do you have a structure? And did the structure come naturally to you, or did you learn it with time? Let me know in the comments. I'm really interested. So I've used the sofa from Eco Lifestyle to create a corner sofa, or I think it's called a sectional. And I really wonder why we don't have them so far in the game, because they are so useful and every builder is pretty much making them all of the time, so why not add them to the game? And then, as I said, attention span of a squirrel, I jumped up to the bed area and started working on some decorations. So I'm adding some curtains and a little wardrobe, and just playing around with the layout a little bit, adding some plants. Just making it cozy for a sim or a couple of sims staying here. For this part of the build, I had a bit of help. On the evening that I built this cabin, I was on the Discord server of the German Simmers and we were talking in the voice chat. I had a hard time with the little passage between the kitchen and the living area. It felt crowded to me. So I sent the others a work-in-progress screenshot, and if I remember correctly, SumiSims suggested to use columns and wall trim to make the area look nicer. I'm not quite sure if wall trim is the correct term, but I hope you know what I mean. I'm really happy how it turned out, so thank you SumiSims for the idea. Moving on, we are outside again and doing the front terrace. And for the balustrades, I also was going with the upcycling project. That's why I used different ones on each side. And then I'm doing the foundation. And at first I thought I wanted it to be on pillars, but I quickly changed my mind because it didn't look so nice. And so it's a solid foundation now. And I chose a bit of a darker wood color for the terraces outside, because I felt like the weather would alter them a bit. That was my thinking. Now I'm actually starting to work on the furniture and the decorating, and I'm just adding in a couch table, and I changed the size of it down. I downsized it. But what's super annoying about that is that all decoration snaps to the original height of the table. So here you can see me struggling with hiring and lowering the flower pots to get them in the correct position. It actually looks like it was easier than it was because I cut a bit of it out. So if you're struggling with it, don't worry, others are struggling too, namely me. I don't know, maybe some people can do it really quickly. I'm not one of them. And now I'm again redecorating the sleeping area with another plant and changing the colors to match the the really white and beige and gray color scheme, putting some plants and sink in the kitchen. Oh no, actually I'm doing the bin and the kitchen sink now, and then I will do plants later, apparently. So yeah, all over the place, definitely. The shelf actually kind of happened on its own. I was talking away on the Discord server, and in the meanwhile this happened. I guess I was in the creative zone somehow. Half of my attention was occupied by talking, and I guess my creative brain just took over. The outcome is very unique in the sense that this is not my typical way of decorating. I hope that makes sense. Funny enough, I have the red shelf installed, but it doesn't really work for me. I don't know, I'm too stupid to use it. So I'm never really using it, and then I'm always struggling around with hiring and lowering objects, ones that don't fit on the shelves naturally. Actually, this is one of my pet peeves about build mode, because I don't see the reason why some of the decor items snap with some shelves or some tables, but not with others, and some don't snap at all. And it's always really annoying, because it could be so much easier. They could just snap on whichever surface and that's it, right? And yeah, so as you have seen, I have lifted the shelf down a bit to just get it on the correct height for the decor items, because otherwise they would have been flying on top of the shelf. But I think in the end it turned out really nice, even though I was struggling a bit with it. But yeah, it's a unique style for me personally. I'm sure some of you are building stuff like that all of the time. For me, it's a bit unusual. So now I'm actually putting the plants in the kitchen and also putting some more plants everywhere else. And I'm decorating the shelves in the living area. And I actually really like the look of the stove. It came with Eco Lifestyle. I think it matches the eclectic vintage look of the place. Unfortunately, in gameplay, this is not a sustainable item, so I think it will pollute the world that you put it in. Which is a bit of a shame, because the build is supposed to be sustainable looking with all the recycled windows, balustrades and the mixed furniture. But obviously the game doesn't have a mechanism for that, so it is what it is. At least the cabin turned out very pretty, so your Sims can at least take some nice photo shoots here or something. What I wanted to mention is that I built this cabin in Granite Falls. That is the vacation world that came with Outdoor Retreat. The lot name is Green Getaway. So if you place it there as well, your Sims can rent it for a holiday for 382 simoleons a day. However, if you want your Sim to live in the house permanently, that is also possible. You just need to add a mailbox. The house then costs about 37,000 simoleons. On the gallery, it is actually classified as a normal house, so that shouldn't be a problem at all. For me personally, I love the idea of going on holiday and staying in this cute cabin with this awesome wall of windows and the nice view. I mean, where in the city would you want to have huge windows like that? Especially in the Sims worlds, where random Sims just walk up to your house and look in the window. Or like especially Vlad the vampire or creepy Sims like that. But if that floats your boat, by all means, I won't tell you or your Sims what to do. You can do whatever you like, I guess. And we are nearing the end of the speed build. I'm doing a few columns on the outside just to make the house look even nicer, and then I'm already doing some landscaping and the terrain paint. I just edited a bit of that in. I don't know if it is that interesting, as it feels a bit repetitive to me. Let me know in the comments if you want to see more of the landscaping next time. I actually had some issues with landscaping at first, because I just couldn't make it look good. Then I sorted the catalog to show just outdoor retreat items, and from there it went smoothly. Some of the plants are from the debug menu, by the way. Now you see me finishing up the house with a bit of greenery on the side, and then with the little yoga corner I end my first speed build. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, leave a like or a comment, and if you want to subscribe, hit the subscribe button. I'm sure you know the drill. I'm also on Instagram, in case you don't know, and my name is also Lost in Simland. Enjoy the screenshots now. I will see you soon. Bye!